Hello, sisters and brothers. Our devotional for today, for April 22, is a reflection on My Utmost for His Highest, a series of devotionals written and compiled by Oswald Chambers. You can always find the link for the daily devotional at utmost.org. For today's devotional, we'll turn to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I'm going to read the very end of that chapter, so I'll read verses 16 through 18 of 2 Corinthians 3. But whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. And the title of today's devotional is The Light That Never Fails. A servant of God must stand so very much alone that he never realizes he is alone. In the early stages of the Christian life, disappointments will come, people who used to be lights will flicker out, and those who used to stand with us will turn away. We have to get so used to it that we will not even realize we are standing alone. Paul said, "No one stood with me, but all forsook me. But the Lord stood with me and strengthened me." 2 Timothy 4:16 and 17. We must build our faith not on fading lights, but on the light that never fails. When important individuals go away, we are sad until we see that they are meant to go, so that only one thing is left for us to do, to look into the face of God for ourselves. Allow nothing to keep you from looking with strong determination into the face of God regarding yourself and your doctrine. And every time you preach, make sure you look God in the face about the message first. Then the glory will remain through all of it. A Christian servant is one who perpetually looks into the face of God and then goes forth to talk to others. The ministry of Christ is characterized by an abiding glory of which the servant is totally unaware. Moses did not know that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. Exodus 34, verse 29. We are never called on to display our doubts openly or to express the hidden joys and delights of our life with God. The secret of the servant's life is that he or she stays in tune with God all the time. So I like that title very much, The Light That Never Fails, because when you think about the Christian life and you think about being a light unto others, well, there will be times when the light of your faith, the light of God shining in you, is not going to fall on some of the people around you in the same way that it once did. There are going to be people who walk away, there will be people who leave us, and this point at the end where Chambers talks about openly expressing our doubts, we're not really called to do that. It's okay to take your questions and concerns to someone who is trusted, someone who you can confide in, someone who has been there, who has a mature faith. But we've come into this point in time where we like to question everything, especially if it doesn't fit with our framework. And that can lead us into a position where now all of a sudden we're allowing doubts to creep in addition to ours. So be encouraged to take your doubts and your concerns to God, to be able to confide in the light that is in God and allow that light that never fails to rest upon you. Because so often we'll get to this place where it may feel a little lonely, it may feel a little uncomfortable, because we find that our progress, our faith journey, the things that we no longer do that are left behind, as we move forward in our faith, we're going to find that the people and the places and the things that we do are not the same anymore. And that may be uncomfortable, but allowing yourself to be just simply in the light with God so that you don't even realize you're alone, because you're not, right? Thinking and reflecting on that, this verse from 2 Corinthians, I want to turn back to that, the very first verse that I read, verse 16. But whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. We don't have to worry about whether or not God will respond to us, whether or not God will answer us, whether or not God will continue to shine and pour His light out into our lives. He will. We simply have to turn to God. So if you're experiencing some doubts, take those to God. Allow the darkness of the doubts to have the light of His truth shine in you. Thank you as always for listening. Be safe and stay well.